We're starting. We're starting. This is number 4. We've done this three other times.
Wasn't it?
No.
I thought that was
we
part
gotta
of
do the
it.
intro music, Jert.
Yeah.
This is the pop one. Okay.
I'm eating a cookie.
Poor timing.
All right. Well,
Ready?
ready. Set.
I like just shoved a cookie in my mouth.
Go. Go, Jert. Tell us.
This is Sumatchi. He has a great show.
Okay, now we're done.
He brings
All right.
in lots of people. We talk about we know.
All right.
Today is Thursday. Legions. We're gonna have
Ball.
some fun and play some more Legions after when we're done. I don't know. Welcome to the show.
I love how you said fun and didn't take the opportunity to rhyme that with Pop 1.
Shit.
You were like digging for a rhyme there. Waiting for
We
it.
could block them both.
We could block them.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Week 4. Nice.
I'm gonna eat more
We
Chinese
survived 4 weeks of putting things together on a consistent schedule. I mean, it's kind of consistent. Like we start 10 minutes late every time. So like, it is
Yeah,
consistently
I mean-
late, right? So we're good.
You know what? That's consistency. It's,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Not, it's precision, not accuracy, right?
Now, last week we didn't get a patch, right? So we were talking about the Legions.
We
Like
did not.
we were talking about the Legions creator mode that or the creator thing that we got to do.
Yeah, didn't
little
y'all
bit.
get to play in the early access Legions?
Yep, we got to play. That was pretty exciting.
Which was really like just a custom, but
Yeah, and
it gave the experience.
now it's out today, and there's a lot of changes that happened today. But we'll start with Legions because that's the big event one. So, like overall, like I've gotten to play probably like 2 hours in the actual update, but I think it's done really well. Like comparatively to War, I don't think I would spend any time in War, but I like Legions mode a lot.
Yeah, it's actually a challenge. It's
Really?
not like just a free win like War is.
Super hard to actually fully wipe a team. The teams are 6 people, so it's harder to like solo carry anything. And then
Yeah.
a lot of the people are playing the Legions mode because I'm not sure if you need to play Legions mode to get event XP. Are you required to play that, or can you play squads?
I don't
Oh,
even
I have
know.
no idea
You
about
can't even
that.
see the thing on PC, so.
Yeah, because the menus are messed up, I have no idea.
Gotcha. Well, it's possible that you might not be able to actually get XP from playing in the squads mode. I don't know about that. We'll need to figure it out. But there's going to be a lot more people playing, especially like the first week. So there's going to be a lot of like good players and things in there. So
Also, the
That's-
fact that they made it the default game mode.
I think
like,
that's
helps.
really good.
A lot
That's
of people
really
don't
smart.
even realize.
Yeah, when you boot up the
Like,
game,
you're just like, oh, I have 6
Legions is
people on my
starting.
team now?
yeah. We had a couple people that are like, "Wow, they changed the rules, and now there's another 6 people." And I don't know if I like this. I'm like, no, it's just a mode. But it's really good for new players. It's it helps increase
I
their
don't know if it
chances
is
of
good
winning.
for new players that I thought it would be.
It
I think
depends.
War
If
might
the
have
new
been
players
better for
show-
new players because it was easier.
All right, you could do, but you could do
Well,
nothing in War and win. But
In the
Yeah.
3 games that we played, we definitely had one where we had a few new players that were like surprisingly like, okay, look, we can do this, and they were like following our team and kind of like helping out. And I think that they enjoyed it. And then we had other games where like the new players don't trust you at all, and we're like, come on guys, let's hot drop, and like they'll just pot off and do their own thing, and kind of, yeah.
yeah,
Like they're even if they did hot drop with you, they'll die and then just go to their teammates. They won't even care about you. Like they're not listening to you or talking to you the whole time. They're only talking to their team.
hey JT,
Hi.
can you mute until you get back?
Dude, JT's
Ow,
Kermit
ow,
is just
ow.
so perfect.
Kermit's
I know.
just bouncing around.
No, shit. Hey, ho.
Oh my god!
You got
censor
inverted
it.
ass.
Hurry. Censor it. Censor it. TOS. Yo, he's spreading his cheeks.
That was funny. I
Is it
approve.
better?
Much better.
Kind of. Yes.
Just stay right there. No,
Yeah.
get back in your chair.
Like this?
It's like War and Team Deathmatch or 6v6v6 doesn't add to your average kills per game and win state, or it doesn't add to your stats. Yeah, does it add to stats? I don't know if it does. Does it?
It does.
It does add
I
to
did
stats.
not pay attention.
Oh, so it does add to stats. Does it count for weekly wins and kills?
Mm-hmm.
It does. Sweet.
Yep.
So, but here's something that I thought about when I booted up and I like selected it a couple times, and I mentioned this in my video too. You cannot have a hyper sweat squad of 6. You can only have 3. And then if there's some form of matchmaking, it'll try to like matchmake you with another 3. So you can't get like a team of all hyper sweats in theory, right? So I think that's a good aspect
It'll
of
probably
it.
happen eventually, but yeah, it hasn't
Right.
happened yet.
But,
I had a time or two on War where it was up 9 sweats.
Mhm.
It happened.
right, and maybe that's like
Yeah,
a matchmaking
I've
thing that they
even-
have.
Yeah, I've noticed in the few games that we played, we were never paired with other really good players, and if there were other good players, they would definitely be like with what seemed like also like randoms that weren't like super versed in the game.
Yeah.
It matchmade very well. I approved.
But I definitely think that helps with the people that are saying that, you know, it's so hard to win solo queue or whatever because you get 2 randoms. Well, now they will at least get 3 people that they're not going to know how skilled they are. So that'll add like an aspect of like balance to that. And there's so many people on the team that it can allow for a little bit more mistakes and a little bit different skill disparity. So I think that both those aspects are super good for it. I like it way more than War, personally. Like, I think I played War like
Way more
for
fun
like
than
a
War.
day after it came out, and then I think I touched it like one other time when it did like super advanced ultra war mode, and other than that it was nothing.
We tried to drop off the tower with.
Yeah, we tried to drop
nades.
like 12 times and we ruined our ratios, but it's fine.
Didn't do it a single time. I love how I think the closest we got was the time we dropped farthest away from the tower. Like we didn't have a zone anywhere near us. It was like an observatory.
Yeah, yep.
Like, all right, we're gonna pray.
It almost worked, other than the fact that it didn't at all. We only got like 2 out of 12.
Yeah,
But
it's more
But-
than 0.
overall, the update or the Legions mode itself, good. I think good. I think great.
Yeah.
Actually,
I think it's the best mode they've put in the game since squads.
I was a little
I like
skeptical
it
at
better
first
than TDM.
because I was like, it doesn't add like a new mechanic or anything. It's just different team size. But I think it does a good job of what it's supposed to do.
It feels like a more intense squads instead of like something totally separate. Something like, if that makes sense, it just feels like a more intense squad.
The fact that it's so hard to wipe a squad, like it
Yeah,
takes so long
really hard.
sometimes to get that 6th player. They'll just keep getting away.
Yeah.
It's a lot of players to keep track of.
And if the game is like far enough along, when you're chasing the 6th player, often another team will hear you, and then they'll start fighting, and that one person will get away, and it'll turn like the end of the games. Like this happened when we were doing the week early test, but like the games lasted a while, and they would always turn into like a cluster at the end.
Yeah, when
And
you're
you
at
can
the
have
end with
like
6 teams
upsets,
just running
you
around.
know, where that team that's rezzing over and over does actually pull it through. Like we've had that happen, or you know, typically they get squashed, but
Right.
every now and again, that one guy is sitting there rezzing over and over. They sometimes pull it out,
Yeah, it'd be
which
interesting.
makes for more
One
fun
thing that was
gameplay,
very
you know?
frustrating, the fact that you have 6 players on the same team dropping in the same area. Trying to loot
Yes.
was really frustrating.
Yeah, and maybe it'll be
6.
like
Sometimes
There's
you
just
had
not enough
12 people
loot around.
dropping.
yeah. Well, in War you'd have 12, but in this mode you'd only have 6.
Well, in War, you're expected
Well, no,
to not
two teams
have a
are
lot of loot
on
if you all hung
two teams
up.
are on
Oh,
one
yeah, yeah,
platform,
you're
and two
right.
teams are on the other platform.
If everybody
Yeah,
on
yeah,
one
so
platform hot
if-
drops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which at least when I was playing today, that was often what happened. But see, even if you pod, you oftentimes pod into other hot droppers or you pod into other potters because the way they set them up across from each other, you're almost
it's war mode.
guaranteed
It's war
to
mode
go
platforms.
straight
You're
into
across
battle.
the map. Yep.
I really like
Yeah,
the
but with
supply
war
drops.
mode, because it was only 2 teams, there wasn't as many possibilities to run into people because there's only 2 groups. But now with 4 groups, you like always run into somebody on a drop. Seems like.
Yep, I would agree with that. But I think that's a good thing too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Makes
It
it.
keeps
It's
the
like
matches
always
fun.
action packed.
JT, you have any thoughts?
JT likes his hand.
These fingers are really cool. Oh,
All right.
man, sorry.
They're like
Legions.
pea crisps. You should try and eat
So
them.
I know they're like. So legions. It's interesting that I'm pointing. It's interesting,
interesting that
you
you're
mentioned
pointing.
that like that there's a consensus, if you will, on like it being a fun thing. But when I first came in and started playing it with some people who were like mid amateur tier, they hated it.
Yeah, I had the same thing.
Hated
happen.
it.
Yeah.
Really?
Partly because like, yeah, because there were like, if you have like one decent player, they get 2 randoms and you get 3 more bottom of the barrel randoms, like because they're trying to match your squad ratio or whatever. And you have like one team of sweats, it is just carnage. Like even with 2, it was
Right, but it's impossible to get a full
The
team of
first ones
sweat
were
like
not
without
fun.
just RNG, right? Because you can't queue
if they come in together. If I come in with 3,
Right.
well yeah, a team of sweats, a squad of sweats in a trio with theirs.
In a legion.
Yeah, they just pooped.
I call them. I call
It's a
each
great
team
it's a
legion.
great
That's how I
game
keep
mode
track of
if
them.
if you are a strong player and get to play with other strong players. It definitely is. And then it's a good game mode for some normal like amateur level players who get to match up and get to play at that and have someone like that. I don't know. It's like it has the potential to have like a lot of people like leaving their team behind, letting them die.
I mean, I
It
feel like
depends on
that
the nature of
happens.
the-
I feel like
the
that happens
sweats.
in the normal mode too.
It
Like,
happens in war too. Yeah, no, people love
well,
war.
no, even just squads. Like people will join as a solo
I-
and then go f off somewhere. Like screw my team.
For sure.
I
I
was-
think there's a part about deathmatch that worked out okay, even though people did not like that and stopped playing it. Was that you at least got to play the game quite a bit over and over and over again. In this
Yeah, for
situation,
the
you
full
can spend a
amount
lot
of
of time.
time.
Yeah, for you're dead, you wake up and then you get smoked again, and now you have to go back to the lobby and do legions again, and you keep finding maybe a situation where you don't have the most prolific
Competent.
competent players on your team.
No, but we're assuming
It-
our skill level, or you'd be assuming there's no matchmaking.
No, I'm saying that even with matchmaking, there's still a likelihood that there's a middle tier of people who get either left behind, who get a little bit snippy with people jumping to their death early and feel like, well, if we make team together, we gonna win this thing, but we don't have teamwork, we ain't gonna win this
No, I
thing.
think that's
Good
regardless
luck
of any
dying over
mode.
there.
I don't think that's
Oh
a
no, I'm
Legion's
saying
issue.
yeah, for sure, but you spend the first 7 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes of like just looting, and then you have someone just like chomp on. I'm saying like I played it earlier.
Yeah, I think that's just a pop
and
one
there-
problem
and-
in
and, like-
general. You're more likely
yeah,
to
and
run
happy-
into
like-
it because there's 5 people in the team.
Yeah, and you're less likely to have any sort of assistance with like third parties in any capacity, or if you die quick. Like I don't know, it's a pop one thing, but playing with some people earlier who don't consider themselves sweats, were like, I fucking hate this mode. I'm
So
just bringing their
first
opinion
thing when I
in.
got on today.
But were you queued with them?
Yes, I was with.
So were
them
you
and,
ruining their mood because you were ruining their MMR? then?
Probably.
Because like if they would just like play
No.
with their skill level because you're too high, right? So if they were just playing with their skill level, would it be fine? Hey, don't get too
I
high.
got on and I joined up with Jay Righteous and somebody else, and they immediately started squads. I was like, oh, I thought y'all would have done legions, and they're like, oh no, we hated legion. And I was like, oh really? They're like, yeah, we hated it worse than war. I was like, why? And they're like, oh, it's just teammates sucked and we die a lot. So basically, it seems like to me there's squads, right? And squads is kind of like medium difficulty, and then war is easier. Legions is harder. And so people don't like harder. And it's really that simple. Legions is harder than squads. And war was so easy that some people don't like it because it was too easy, but some people loved how easy it was, honestly. So I think people that are looking for a challenge will enjoy Legion. I don't know if it's
It
as
also,
good a
like,
game mode for new people as we thought it would be. Because the survivability's there, but they're still just getting farmed.
They
True.
survive
I mean,
longer.
It is a lot of our games.
There's
We're just
if
the
they
three of
die,
our
they're more
good
likely to get
players
rezzed.
and our 3 randoms following us around. They'd all
Oh,
end up
you know
with
what?
maybe
You know
3
what?
kills
So
between
I
them.
kind of to go along with what JT was saying. It's the middle tier people that hate it because the people that are really really bad, they don't actually care about getting farmed. They're just having fun playing the game and not having to die and like lose the match immediately. Those people are probably enjoying it more. But I think the middle tier people that actually don't want to get farmed, they don't like it.
Like, yeah, and I think part of it has to do with the nature of a showdown kind of thing. You start seeing that, like, oh, the top however many, or like there's a leaderboard, right, that we saw, like, and you have like diamond levels or whatever. Like, I'm just assuming that that's gonna come into play in some capacity.
Well, that's how you get
Because you see people like grinding that.
Well, the leaderboards are just
Do
for
I-
the rewards, like the Hollow Hattie was back in November. Or
Right, for sure, but you have people like grinding on that now. Because in the beginning, there wasn't like
Well, people like
sweat
that
culture.
because those leaderboards also persist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can still, it's one of the random numbers, but you could still see my number from the Harvest Havoc event back in October or November, whenever it was, on the Hot Drop Stats app. It's on there. It's one of the event things.
Oh yeah, for
Like,
sure.
people-
I'm saying
people
like
like
it's
looking at those numbers.
no, well, yeah, it's an inspiring number. Like, there was a different number of players playing in the Harvest Havoc than there are now, and their culture's changed quite a little bit. And there's been
Quite a bit.
there are
of
people who
it,
are gonna
yeah.
grind that shit every day, and they sometimes make the games that they're in a little toxic, if that makes sense. I'm concerned about
I
that.
mean, I used to
What?
grind the game every day. Oh, did I click a random emote? I
how
think I clicked the
often do you
laugh
guys do
emote.
this? We do this every week.
Every Thursday at 11:05.
At
Maybe
11,
11:09.
probably 11:10. Is roughly.
11:10.
11:10 Eastern,
Yes, 11:10 Eastern.
10:10 Central.
9:10 Mountain.
11:10.
Yep. But I personally think the mode's great. So you're saying like mid-tier, but new players, like, do you think they're gonna matchmake on like a hidden skill level, or are they gonna matchmake on the ranking of the event itself? Bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond.
It's based on number of people playing and
No. I'm talking about
what
matchmaking.
number you are. Oh.
Do you think they matchmake off the ranking, or do you think they matchmake off of MMR? Probably MMR.
Yeah, I imagine they start there and then they probably modify it accordingly.
Now, I think it is really
the
good
game
to
to
have the
adjust it.
mechanic in the game that says bronze, silver, diamond, gold, platinum, or platinum, diamond. Like, it's good to have that, like, competitive thing. Like, even if it doesn't mean anything,
I love
because
that.
people will see it and they'll be like, ha, I'm wood. I'm so
Yeah,
good.
look what I got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jarrett can talk from a
I
personal
got a white
experience.
hattie.
Oh yeah, I've got a white hattie. Means I was the top 20%.
Top 20%.
This is the top 10%.
Yeah. Gotta be a little bit more elite for this one.
Shine
As
bright
if we
diamond.
don't also have the platinum brood, which is like the 0.00% that just happened to get it.
Yeah, that's fine.
4 people.
Hair
Point
toss.
0.00001%.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if it's that. Because if you think about it, they're being like,
Listen, JT, it's a joke.
Listen. Listen,
Calm
JT.
down, Kermit.
JT's like, actually, according to math.
yeah, I mean, that's a really small number.
You're a really small number.
You
talking-
want me? Is that what you're saying?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I don't speak your language.
so legions.
These are my
gonna-
eyelashes.
We're
gonna-
If I had eyelashes, they're like this.
I'm gonna lead this into another conversation, which is the very first game of Legions. Maybe very first. One of the first games of Legions that I played that I found an op, I got 19 kills because the op is fixed for me.
The op is definitely fixed.
So
And you know what's
I have not
hilarious?
had a single issue
They
with the
fixed
op.
it
Very nice.
exactly the way that I talked about the first week of this podcast. That's exactly what I said.
the
to do.
rendering thing. Well, I mean,
They
Yes.
just
Increase
extended the
rendering
rendering
distance.
distance of the skin. That's all they did.
now have you guys run into any issues with like some skins like not loading or anything? I've run into some people today who were completely invisible still. Like they didn't even have the loading blue PJ
Yeah, it's
or
the
anything.
exact same thing. It's no different.
And I've also had my
The
guns
blue
be
loading
completely
worked
gray.
in the lobby, but not,
Mhm.
not in the game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It worked in the lobby, but not in the game. It's like they turned it on
So-
only for the lobby on accident.
Well, there's also there's a performance hit in general when you when you now set this radius out, and there's gonna be a performance hit that if it happens to you, and that is a compounding error that will end up making those API calls take longer in general. And see that like they talked about
Good
how they
point.
separated this in sort of 3 different tracks. Like normal game engines use a single thread to process on, and you like send up like coroutines that then feed back into the thread. But that is a process that is super CPU intensive, and with ARM chips, you don't have as much processing power. So what they did was it created a new way of doing it, their own system, which separated the 3 different threads and ran them parallel, so they could run those different networking concurrently, but able to get the kind of low latency that you need for a game like this.
Can you stop hitting emotes, Jert?
In doing so, that means like that the rendering sort of loop, like right now, for those rendering calls, they're taking a little bit longer than they normally would, so you're seeing those default textures probably a lot more. Like, and they also like
Well, no. They don't have a texture at all. They're invisible.
no, they have a default texture now.
No, they still.
There's
They
some
do.
that are
That's
there's some
what he-
PJ.
no there's some
That's
that are
what he's
the
saying. It's
bright-
not showing up.
there's some that are completely invisible still. I've gotten in lobbies today where people are 100% visible still. I've also had my bananas
Yeah,
be
so
gray.
what I was
they don't have it
told-
running
Soda's been
so the thing
gray.
is they don't have it running in lobby. They do have it running. They have all that running in your lobby area, where you replace the guns. But in game, if you do that, that also can end up causing extra latency.
Right, I think that's what.
if everyone is
Yeah, I
doing
think
that.
that's what Starwind was saying. Because it feels like it happens in the lobby and everything looks okay, and then when you get in the game, it's like.
Yeah, the blue because they wanted it to where like, okay, let's say the skins don't load, then you get a blue outline. That way you can at least play through the match.
The weirdest
You
one
know,
for
well, that's the way
me.
they
They used to have the
jacked up
blue
looking, but-
PJs, but then people bitched about it.
Well, they have it again. They have blue PJ again, JT.
Well, but they don't have it in the lobbies
No, they do.
where they used to have it.
No, they do.
Oh, they do.
Yeah,
Some are still
they added
invisible?
it today. Yeah, but there's invisible. Now, something that was weird for
But
me,
it's
that's
not
really
working
confusing
fully.
for me, is when I loaded into a game, I actually got a game in with Bagel today, and he was invisible, which was confusing because he only uses the default Roy skin, which should be there all the time because it's part of the game. That's weird.
So is it true? This is what somebody told me. They said they asked the dev about the issues they've been having, or they asked somebody at Big Block. And evidently the skins now. I knew that they loaded the skins into the lobby based off of who was there, not every skin. That was
Mhm.
the major
Yeah, that's
change.
probably me.
But I was. Somebody told me that they're actually loading the skins from the internet. They're not even loaded on.
They're
the,
streaming. Yeah,
the
so they
system
when
at
you
all.
load
Yeah,
into
they're
a game,
streaming
it
assets.
streams the assets based on which ones you need. But the weird part is,
And
like,
then
with what
the-
happened
So they're
today.
not local.
No. Well,
Yeah,
all of
no,
the
every-
default skins
There-
should be
there are a
local.
couple,
Like
yeah.
PJ, Roy, and like those should be local. And one of my games, Roy was invisible, which didn't make any sense to me because that should be on my system. So I don't know what's going on.
Well, I've had friends. I haven't had it to me, but I've had friends where everyone in the lobby is invisible for 'em.
Huh.
Like literally everyone.
Maybe you have really shit internet.
I had it
They-
today.
That's what I was telling them.
I had
I've
it-
never had it happen
So
to
the
me.
the
but-
issue is if you're having issues rendering that skin because you're having issues getting that texture in yours, if you don't just keep going and you stop the thread, then your game becomes choppy. And you're already having enough issues because like everyone's loading it at the same time, so it feels a little choppy because all those disrupt the rendering tick. So,
I think we're talking about
things
two
have to
separate
happen,
things here.
Process math. No, I mean, so if you have everyone in the lobby, that means that you just have really bad internet.
Right. But as I said, some of the default skins are invisible, which should be part of the game. Like default skins don't need to
Right.
be loaded.
Question, yeah, yeah. You could accidentally.
And I've had games where
remove
like
those
10 people are
when
invisible.
you dump them.
So, but let's back to op for a
Do
moment.
you have poo-poo internet? Yes.
Back to the op for a moment. op
Yes, back
working?
to-
You guys had any issues at all with the op?
I think it's pretty much like
No.
99%
Okay, the
fixed.
only issue is I can't find any.
Yeah.
I can't. I have not.
I have
found
a
fucking
theory for
op.
that.
I find single. I have single star ops, but Jert always finds a purple ops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I found a bunch of
And
purple
then-
ones today, actually.
So for anybody that
They
doesn't
just make
know
less
in
of
chat,
them?
what was going on with the op is if you played on PCVR, and it didn't happen for everybody, but it happened for a lot of players, and we didn't know if it happened based on graphics card or CPU or whatever, because I had a pretty decent one. But when you scoped in the op, your game would just freeze for like a little bit, just a couple frames, like maybe like 10 frames.
Just,
or
you know,
something.
like 30 seconds.
Like 100 milliseconds.
like 100 seconds. And the more people in your scope, the longer it would freeze. So you'd have issues where you'd like try to scope, like quick scope someone, and your game would just freeze. Or when you did the freaking, we did the community tournament, which was 5v5v5v5. When I scoped into a group of people, my game would freeze for like 2 seconds because there's 5 people like clumped into like one area. So I'd be like, all right, I can play now. But I've noticed something that started happening, which is a little weird. Jert, you want to mute so that sound doesn't come through?
Oh, my bad.
Something that I've started having, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but sometimes when you like, do you guys use motion dampening when you shoot the op? Or do you guys have motion dampening on by
I use
default?
like balance settings. I'm always on motion
Okay.
dampening.
So sometimes, I don't know what causes this, but when I like look at someone and like try to trace them, it'll feel like the motion dampening is like delayed for half a second. Like normally I'm like, okay, this feels normal, this feels
Yes,
normal.
no,
And then
what
every
you're
once in a
rendering
while,
is
it just like
behind.
slows. Yeah. So I've noticed that, but
So
that's,
it's yes. So it is. It's okay. So the rendering inside your scope is behind the rendering of the game.
yeah.
I've had it where like someone was there, I shoot, and I pull away, and they've already gone away, and you're like, when the fuck did that happen?
Yeah, mine is like, I try to like move
I
to
always
them and
assume
then...
when that happens, that like they actually did just move and it just like happened in that.
Well,
second.
that's not what I'm talking about.
Around.
I'm talking about when you're trying to trade, like say someone's flying through the sky and you just know like how far you need to flick like passively to shoot them. So you scope in and you just like do the muscle memory to move and shoot, but like it doesn't do it immediately. Like the scope like takes a
Right.
second before it actually does it.
Oh
It's
yeah,
really
'cause, like,
weird.
it lerps.
Yeah. So I've had that happen a couple
I think I
times.
may not notice that because I don't play with as much dampening as you do because I don't play with max dampening. I play with like 80 something.
I play with all the dampening. It needs to be damp.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been trying to mess around with zero dampening to see how that goes.
I
On a op?
want moistening.
Did Big Bucks
I used
acknowledge
to
that
play-
issue
I
and
used
say
to
they were
shoot
working
op
fixed?
with
No,
zero, but-
that's been an issue for about 2.5 or 3 months, the op issue, but it got fixed today. So, or
got
the
worse,
frame freeze fixed today, which is really nice. So, but overall, I think I have
They
a
really fixed
I have
it.
a
They just made
conspiracy.
they just made it not.
I have a
show up.
conspiracy theory, which is when the op started having issues, they went into the loot tables and they're like, all right, we can't fix this immediately. Just turn down the amount of ops that spawn in the game. And now it works, but they haven't
Oh,
like readjusted
so-
that yet, I assume, which is why we can't find ops. I assume that's why, but don't quote me.
I don't think they would.
Mute
do
your
that
mic,
'cause I don't
JT.
think
Oh,
there's
that's
enough PC
interesting.
players.
Because
For them to care.
what?
Just go ahead.
I don't
Oh,
think
shit,
there's enough
I meant to
PC
do
players
that.
for them to care to do that. To be honest.
No, so if you had 18 ops in the game at the same time, theoretically you could end up causing some extra latency if everyone like scoped in at the same time and you needed to pull a bunch of textures in.
Would it open
Like, there
like
are
a time
ways-
continuum if you had
Mhm.
8 people
Yes.
scoping with the op all at once?
Yes.
No, but like every call still has to go through one port. Right? So like no matter where you come from, it's gonna get muxed to the point where like the game server who's in charge of saying what happened and what didn't happen still comes in on a single line in order, and it processes it in order and then replicates that data back out. So if everyone is doing this kind of thing at the same time, all those requests are coming in. So the same thing happens with requests to CDN servers that like hold on to like textures and other things. Like if you send a request that's supposed to be dedicated to that game, or you don't load balance it in such a way that like, or maybe there's a theoretical minimum, I don't know. Then you'd have a little bit of latency. So if you make less ops, you have less of those calls happening consistently.
Towers experimenting with 0 motion dampening. Do you move faster with motion dampening off? You don't walk any faster with motion dampening off, but your aim is more snappy. Motion dampening just kind of like stabilizes your aim. If you have like shakiness or anything, it like slows it down a little bit. But now they just need to
Are
apply
you
motion
okay, Jared?
dampening to.
Yes.
Jert's never okay. Don't listen to him his answer.
Do
Yeah.
I not seem okay?
You seem fine.
Yeah.
Ask Kermit what his
Oh,
problem is.
okay.
Everyone's head is shaped that way.
Yeah. What else got fixed? We got the
Yeah, my head feels fine.
the ledge fix, where your character model doesn't slide off the ledge and your foot's not up here while your hands are down here shooting. That got fixed.
It still happens if you are.
You gonna say this on
I
stream?
saw something like it happen. What?
Go ahead.
There's still some that happen. Like when you hold on with your hand and certain things happen, maybe. I still saw one today.
Okay.
Every time you look at me, Sumatchi, I feel like you're peering into my soul and like trying to burn whatever it is.
He's like,
if there's like
behave,
a little
behave.
person inside of me who's like in charge, and you're like, little person. You're like, oh no, Sumatchi, I'm sorry. But my guy is like, not he has headphones on, and so like, you hit him with laser, he's like, oh fuck, laser, all right. So like I'm still going, but still, there's that executive function that looks at you and goes, my life got stolen.
I'm sorry.
He went straight back to looking at his fingers.
Well.
That was quite a story, JT.
Yep.
I'm running out of money.
Ledge issues. Have you run into any ledge issues, Jert?
I have not seen any ledge issues. I've enjoyed the game, the few games I've played. So
I've had a
far.
couple of
I haven't
people
played very much. But...
hiding on top of the needles in the planes, like the normal ones where they like slide off the back, and they've just been like crouching on the top. So I think it's better, at least.
Okay.
It seems better.
Yeah, that's definitely a plus. Yeah, I haven't seen anything that seems sketchy or weird yet, but I also haven't put in enough time. I've only gotten like maybe 5 games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably at like.
I bet you
10 or
there's
15.
more issues at Castle than other places just because they just don't know about as many.
Maybe.
That would be my guess.
Perhaps. Castle has a lot of slopes on the like spires.
Or maybe they've designed.
I mean, it would
geometry a
also
little
depend on
bit
how they
differently to
fixed
not
that
have
issue. Did they
issue.
fix each individual ledge that they had that issue on, or did they make a physics issue, a physics
They
change that
changed
fixed it
the-
altogether?
They changed their like kinematics slightly to choose to do something else if that happens.
Right, given a position in space and a movement vector, you go, well, if I've reduced the ability of every joint to move in only a specific direction, then I can move that direction and have my body then move. It's inverse
Weapon movement
kinematics.
vectors, yes, correct.
Using-
Difference.
Using the physics of the body mesh itself to make a choice in what the movement looks like with the other person. Because they have to interpret or interpolate between points, and you have an animation loop that plays, and so you kind of like
Is there a difference between
to choose where things go.
interpret and interpolate?
Interpret. So the
Extrapolate.
definition of interpret is to take a thing
I've never
and
heard the word
to
interpolate.
yes. Interpolate. So interpolate is about the movement between 2 points in space, right? So if I want to have a dot move from here to there, right? Here's the most basic example. A dot from here to there. I can go in a straight line, right? Which would be x equals y, right? Do. It's a slope, 45 degrees, right? And if I want, and so when I move this person from that point to that point, it would move evenly from one end to the other. But sometimes you want things to like start slowly, speed up, and then slow again, right? And that would look like a sine wave, right? You would go yeah, and you would get there, and the interpolations between those 2 points. You can do it on a B-spline. You can do it with different types of equations that allow for you
Wait.
to.
You can't
move
use the word
between those two locations.
interpolation to define interpolation.
I'm not. I'm saying that that's what interpolation is.
So it's
There are different functions. You can do an
it
x
the-
cubed or x squared. So x squared has the
so is it the speed, the
is a
acceleration?
parabola. It
It's
is It is sort of
It's in flux.
it is so technically yes. The derivative of acceleration would be velocity.
So it's
And
the velocity.
so technically if you took the slope of the point. So yeah, so it technically is the speed at which it travels, but the slope of each point would be the acceleration. And that's just calculus.
Yes, correct. So
Math class with
it's
JT.
the same definition.
So it means it's wavy.
So it's the same thing.
So
Yeah.
it gives you like that. So the dampening is an interpolation, right? I move from point A to point B in a rotation.
Right, but
But it
it's
goes.
like
It
it's your
lags
mouse
a little
acceleration.
bit, and then right.
Motion dampening is just mouse
You
acceleration.
also see it called ease in.
Wait a minute,
So if
you
use
have mouse.
the
I turned my
turning.
mouse acceleration off.
Yeah, my mouse acceleration's off.
Well,
Screw ease in. Anybody that uses ease in, go turn off
so
ease in right now.
Ease in is
ease in's
an
bad.
interpolation.
Slows
that
you
is
down.
the,
so
I
much.
need that shit to move the same speed
it's
all
like
the
an
time.
x squared.
Always making the game. Yeah, thinking new events, map changes. Yep. The game's gonna get updated. I don't know if they're. I don't think they're gonna do the seasons thing anymore, where every 2 months specifically there's gonna be something, but there will be fresh content frequently, which is good to know about the game.
Smoke it.
I got off topic for a sec. It was op.
Which
and
for a VR game is still super impressive that they updated this
kinematics,
much.
right?
Like-
Kinematic. Oh yeah,
True.
updating
Inverse
weekly or every 2
kinematics.
weeks. Like I play Pavlov competitively, and it'll be like, May will be like, hey, this thing is this way and deserves to be balanced this way, and the devs are like, yep, sure does. And then it'll like the test will like be active in the beta of the game, like they'll put it in the beta version, and then it'll be in the beta version for like 7 months, and then it might get updated at some point. Like Pavlov gets
It's a
updated
hard
like
thing.
twice a year. I don't know how often like Onward or anything gets updated, but Population 1 in terms of updates spoiled me a lot.
Yeah, it's also
True.
a difficult thing to maintain. Luckily, they have the chance to grow as a team. But
Is it though? Like
that-
even if you don't have anything to update that week, you just go in and you're like,
That's
the
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 hard
op's
part.
the
So,
op's
like-
gonna do 300 damage today. That's just a number change. You don't have to do anything, right? So just like every
Right.
week you
And
just
you
go
have-
and change like a couple numbers, and you're like, that's fine. Keeps the game pretty fresh.
But then, yeah, I mean they change some stuff. I think every day, doing some A/B testing of like a certain like server level like config. So like there's a config for the server. So for the game state itself, I think controls the location of the zone and then the nature of where it's going to move next and how it does, and then also like how big it shrinks. They probably keep some sort of variables in there and that's something that they can change on the fly between servers. They can modify the configs between them. Whereas the other stuff is games, the stuff that changes on the games. So they play with server stuff, I think, consistently, including like matchmaking. I think they try between multiple different time frames, but also different servers to see
See,
like.
But do you
I
know?
did this,
do we know
and
any
how did that
other?
affect it?
Do we know any other VR games that update this frequently?
No, that's what I'm saying. This is a hard thing to do.
Dude,
And
even
some,
in
like,
non-VR
they're-
games, it's not.
Well,
It's-
the game
it's
that I
so
related
hard
to
to-
is
It's hard to give.
Also, like pushing a consistent, even if you don't change much, just pushing an update without testing it too much, you risk like breaking the game.
Right,
Like,
and people are
they-
very
right.
fickle. And the hard part is when you do get that, they're gonna expect small changes won't be like good enough. Like, oh, I remember the day, like the time they took now, where they didn't give updates for a little bit to work on very big major stuff. People bitched about that.
Yeah.
Like-
When they went 4 weeks without a patch,
You keep
everybody's
talking
like,
about like
"Game's
the
dead."
just getting jobs. Like they have jobs. All they do.
Games.
work
Meanwhile,
on this
most
game.
other,
They're probably
every
You guys
other
remember
game
that?
gets a
It was
patch,
it
like,
was
once every
season
6
2.
months.
Yeah, it was season 2.
Game's
yeah,
dead.
dude.
Game's
And-
dead. Mad
Yeah,
doors.
game's dead.
Game's dead.
No one wants to play. Game's dead. But yeah, you set up an expectation
I'm
of
quitting
yourself
this
to
game.
have to keep
Dear
up to date with
Facebook
it
group. Dear Facebook group. I am quitting the game
because hackers.
after this most recent update with the war mode.
It's actually
We lost
reasons.
nighttime mode, which was the best, and war mode, which is the best. And when you get
I'll
rid of
never
war
come
mode,
back.
I might as well not play. I'm never gonna come back again
Sincerely,
unless you bring war back.
Signed,
Kermit.
Sincerely,
the people on Facebook.
Yeah.
mean, I had like 5 names I was gonna say, but I'm gonna say
No.
The reason Pop 1 though has been able to do this is they came out of the gate like totally prepared.
They also came
they
out of the
already had,
gate
like,
finished. Larcenauts?
And they had content. They had
Uh-oh.
content
I
for like
have yet
months
to go
ahead,
back.
like already
Literally,
ready.
they keep saying like, "Oh, we made some changes," and I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, I
Unless
keep
someone's
getting
like, "Do you
updates,
have
but
to
I'm
go
like,
back?"
Yeah.
For what?
Larcenauts?
I don't have any
Like,
friends that
unless-
play, so I don't go to
Oh.
play it.
Right.
I
and, like,
tried it after the
Larcenaut's got a
two-hand
big set.
update.
Yeah.
Maybe the most recent one
and
makes
man,
it better,
even
but
then,
I'm
dude,
spoiled.
the
Pop
manual
one's
I can
wicked.
reloading
play on
they
virtual
implemented was
desktop
so
now.
bad.
They updated me to virtual desktop.
I actually
Update
had
me
to go
virtual
back to a button
desktop,
reload
update
because the
me
manual
to
reloading they
virtual
used
desktop.
was terrible.
Manual reload doesn't feel great.
It is
No.
bad,
Oh,
dude.
God damn it.
Yeah.
And so they have they have like you press the button and then
Yeah,
the
you
character
could.
does
They
all
have the
these crazy
flourish
animations.
reload, the button reload, and
Well, they have another button reload where you press
Aw,
the
thanks,
button
JT.
and it reloads, but
I'm
the
sorry,
animation
it's
doesn't
J-Way.
happen.
Hmm.
So not
Ha,
only does no
JY.
animation happen, but you also don't have to move around and like try and plug in your ammo or anything.
Oh
You
yeah, and
literally
if you
just click a
cancel it,
button.
it doesn't finish the fucking load cycle, and then you can't shoot your gun. Oh my god.
I forget which weapon it was.
I'm
that does
spoiled.
that.
That's
Yeah, I
that's the
remember
like
that.
chunk the tank. That's what his name is. And you're like,
I can't remember what his gun is. The enforcer? Is that the
oh yeah,
pistol?
that's the pistol one.
I can't remember.
What are we talking about? Thal?
But it kind of exacerbates
Oh,
the main
yeah.
problem I have with Larcenauts at this point is that you never get fair matches, right?
Yeah.
So not only is there
They're just bots.
the initial problem of different skill levels, which is in every game, right? Then you have the problem of people are on different settings with different their actual settings are affecting how well they can reload, you know. And then you have bots. Like no
And their
one's
guns also do
you got
better
two-handed
damage the more
mode,
they
you got
play.
non-two-handed mode. Like everybody's just all over the place.
The guns don't specifically do better damage, but you can upgrade the
Sure, yeah, I mean-
power slates.
But I think
And
that
that
kills your
does
game even
affect.
more. Like if you don't have the player base to like constantly like grow and like get more players and like not have bot lobbies, then the people that are coming to play the game, they get wrecked by someone that does more damage because they play the game more. Is a bad mechanic.
Because they've upgraded
Yeah,
all their stuff.
yeah, because they've just upgraded their stuff. So you're like
Then there's some
making the like point of entry so much harder for all the new players, and then all of the veteran players have bots in their lobby. So like it's like a lose.
And it's also
Yeah,
RNG.
there's a
so,
solution
like,
to that
you
problem.
you could end up doing really well and get the VOD early, or you could not get the VOD and just get wrecked by it every single time when you're new.
I never had
Just
an
before
issue
that
with
update.
VOD.
I mean, I got VOD early and I hated VOD. I really didn't like VOD.
Yeah,
so
I
never
honestly
played it.
never had an
I-
issue with VOD. All you had to do is hit your shots, and that was the hardest thing about the game. That's something that I realized for Pop 1 though. Like we have to put ourselves
if you
at
had people
a
that were teaming
yeah.
with a chi on a VOD is
That was hard for sure. Unless
I mean,
you're
play
yeah,
with
Jert-
Vander.
yeah,
Just turn
unless you're
invisible,
Jert,
but
and you just
just
Put your Jert in the
put
squad.
traps down.
Tell
Turn
him to go to
invisible.
bye-bye.
Put traps down.
Traps down, traps down,
Vander's
traps.
so dumb.
yeah.
Traps are the
But like,
dumbest thing.
but once you get to the veteran level, like, there's nothing else to buy. And so you when I
True.
was playing,
I did
they're like-
already buy everything in the game.
and you have
I'm not
still
a
like
thing.
2
My shop's
million
always empty.
coins. But the people who do play it, if you're not a grinder, then the amount of effort it takes to get those things and then have it be RNG, and then maybe you don't have the coins to
I think
buy things at that day.
There's a weird
it has a lot of
unbalanced nature of VR right now where people want to make something that you can grind and play for a bunch of hours. But the state of VR right now is there's very few VR games that people will actually constantly play every day, right? You have Pop 1. Beat Saber if
VR
you have custom mods. VR Chat if you have full body tracking.
friends.
Whatever
Nobody
Love
plays
it.
VR chat by
Friends.
themselves.
Yeah,
And-
VR Chat for friends. But
Nobody
like, what
plays
other
VR
VR
chat by
games
himself
do
and
people
enjoys
boot
it.
up every day? I guess Pavlov and Onward, right? People will
people
boot those up,
play
but there's nothing to
Gorilla Tag a
grind.
lot.
Oh, Gorilla Tag. People play that game.
Mhm.
Kids play
Yeah.
that game a lot. But I mean, it looks fun.
I think
I've
Gorilla
never
Tag kind
played
of
it.
died off a little bit. I mean, I'm certainly not playing Gorilla Tag even once a week. Fuck
Have you guys
that.
played Stride? Stride is
I like
pretty
it.
interesting.
Huh?
Stride. It's like Mirror's Edge.
I've
Stride
enjoyed
for VR.
Demio. Demio has been fun.
Demio's good.
Demio is great, but it's different. Like, you have to do a lot of work to meet the same dopamine release that Pop 1 gives you. Right? In the same sort of format.
Well,
whereas
that's
Demio
why
has a
while you're
different
sitting there with Demio, you're also
cooperative part.
taking shots or something.
You're,
Yeah,
or it's
because
me and
you
Jared.
have you have time to sit there and like play around in between turns.
Yeah, and
One
you can make
fap
it fun
per
and
round.
talk to each other.
I think there's
fap per
probably
round.
people on Quest.
Edge to
Yeah,
the
play
edge
J-Way
to the
said
edge.
Demio is fun too.
How did you? I still want to figure out how you figured out how to like lay down while you were playing it, so you could just be a potato. I need to figure
Like
out.
so
Oh.
you use your thumbstick. You just
Yeah,
press
I
up
tried a
over and
lot.
over, and it
I
will
tried.
slowly rotate the table, and then eventually. So what I found when you're trying to rotate the table in that game effectively, so you have to grab it with two hands. What I always do is I grab it with one hand, and then grab it like at 12 o'clock with your second
You can
hand.
grab the
And if you
table.
move between like 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, you can like really orient the table well, whichever direction you want. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't know you could grab the
So
table.
like you grab it with two hands, but
I just know you could twist
Oh
it.
yeah, that's how you orient.
Oh, you meant like grab as
Yeah,
in like
like, you
move your
can-
body
you, like-
around.
Yeah,
Yeah, like grab
so
to move
the
in
key,
3D space.
The key is that it does not move, but on a single axis. In the
Yes,
the
Oh.
backwards direction. So when you start the game and you have a direction that you want to be facing to go lay back in, you need to start the game in that position, because everything you do is relative to that location.
Got
like,
it.
It doesn't bend this way. It only bends. It only rotates around
Well,
that
I'm not
axis.
sure on. I'm not sure on PC like how y'all deal with it, but I mean I'm on Quest. I can just reset it and it'll put my board
Are you?
back in the middle.
Oh yeah,
like
because
it
you can.
kinda
Well, yeah,
makes-
because you can press and reset.
All right.
Center.
Yeah, I
You
can
can't
reset
do that.
my.
All right. All right.
I
Football
like
Dragon's working
rock
out,
and
though.
roll.
Look at that.
You
got
can
feet.
cross your legs. That's kind of hot.
It
all
was
comfy.
my feet were locked into the chair until I went to my menu and came out. Now they're my feet are free.
So
Wait, are you at full body tracking?
no,
Yep.
no, he's nope. That's controls that with his hands for sure.
I'll have that tomorrow.
It's kind of like the people that have the avatars with the tongues.
I don't have it. I just want to do it.
I have a tongue.
Well,
That doesn't
I'm
go very
getting
far.
I'm
Oh
getting
wait,
my Vive
I have
trackers and a
other
PlayStation
avatars that do
tomorrow.
have that, but I feel like that would break the
Not here,
illusion.
JT. Not here.
Yeah,
What?
keep your
20
lewd
minutes from now.
avatars out of here.
Like this one. Hey.
All right, were there any other changes?
Money.
That happened.
other changes
There
that-
wasn't any.
Whoops.
Those were the big ones. Oh, custom lobbies got more settings.
Yeah,
Did
that's
they? I didn't
interesting. I like the
actually check
pod
that.
one.
They
That's
got
probably why. Wait, what?
yes.
Oh my.
Custom
watch,
lobbies?
There's more shit. Okay.
Custom lobbies
You
can.
go ahead. He's a banana. Banana man.
The match made in heaven. PJ and a banana. So, custom lobbies now have.
Call me by
My
your,
hands are so tiny.
call me by your name. Give me your life. Give me your
Call me by
potassium
your
noodle.
name.
Call me by your potassium noodle.
I did not know this hack for VR chat where you sit in a chair and then open your menu and close it to make your legs work. Right?
Hey, Papillon.
So-
I did. Oh, look at him. He's so precious. Ah! Say, I'm jerk.
I am jerk.
Oh, this is your forever body.
All right,
This is
custom
our
lobbies
video
changes.
forever,
Ready?
buddy.
Custom lobby changes. You can now change the movement
lobby
speed of
changes.
players. You can change the gravity. You can change how hard you can fling yourself. And I think there was one more change.
Wait, you can change
sorry.
your flingies?
Yes, you can
Wait,
change your
Yo, we
flingies.
should
change-
put it on max flingies and have a tower race. Like see
Match
who can get
flingies,
Oh my
match
gosh.
flingies, up only, high movement speed. Let's
Max
do it.
flingies Yeah, and so you can go across the map and have it be like a drone racing more than anything else.
No, you just have an op battle while you're all flinging each other across.
Look at
With
him!
the gravity
Look at
turned all the way
him!
down.
Look
Yo,
at
so
Yes.
can we
him.
have like moon fights?
Probably. I haven't messed around with them at all, but I know that all those settings existed. I didn't know
So
they were
could we
they were
all
coming.
jump off the tower in slow motion? Like if the gravity was reduced, right? Could we all jump off the tower in slow motion and have like a Neo fight? Where I'm like falling backwards. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm falling backwards and you're coming after me, and I'm like shooting in the air.
We
up
all
at
have
you, like,
swords. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm your nasty
Yo,
dancer.
we need to export
dancer for
Jert and
money.
JTDubzZ
I
to
do
the
what
to the
you
Void
want
Club.
me to do.
Okay.
What
Someone
custom
shot
lobbies
to
can you think of,
midnight
Jert?
in the wildest fantasy.
Jert's like, what are custom lobbies?
My dreams.
I think like a Moonman custom lobby where you just have really low. So you make it to where the gravity's really low, but you can like the
Like Echo VR.
wait. Almost, yeah.
Oh,
But I was
almost.
trying to think. I had a thought in my head and then I lost it. It ran away. Give me a second. I think of it.
Go
You-
get
you
it.
had
Go
a
get it. It went
thought
up the
in your
stairs. It
banana.
went up the stairs, Jared. Go get the idea. Go get it. Y'all can't see it, but it's real cute.
He went to go
Sumatchi.
get his idea.
Wait.
What if he didn't
get the
actually
camera
have an
and
idea
show
and he
him?
comes back
Can we
with
do?
nothing?
Can we walk with the camera and be like, this is a camera takeover?
I mean, I could. Don't touch the camera.
Get it.
Don't touch the camera.
Get it.
Don't touch it. Sit down. Sit down. Come on, guys. I'm not
I
getting
burned him and he's
I'm not
gone.
getting paid for this daycare.
Listen, Sumachi's gonna take our checks back, everybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna take your checks back, guys.
Y'all
You
are
guys aren't
getting
getting paid.
You better
No.
start behaving.
He just gave me the a trail mix and. he said,
Hey,
"That's your
that was
checks."
good trail mix. Don't even.
I
You
mean,
told me
I
I'd
feel
get
like you
a
had
I'd get
very
a full blanket with no
disproportionate
holes
amount
in it this
of
time.
onion chips in there, and I much prefer the onion chips over
Was it the spicy
raisins.
trail mix? 'Cause if it
Why would
wasn't
you
spicy
put
trail
raisins and
mix-
Chex Mix and trails mix? It doesn't make any sense. I don't want M&Ms. I want like, give me that dirty dirt, right? That Chexy Chex. I want to get that dirty Chex in my. I want to get that dirty Chex and then like them dirty chips. You know what I'm saying? The ones that are like real dusty, and when you eat them,
Give
like
me them
ooh.
dirty dirds. Them
Can you
dirty
think of any game moods, PJ? Starwind?
Game moods?
Please, game moods.
moods?
Save me.
The moon one. I don't have anything else. The moon one and the tower race. The max speed.
You can
tower
turn up
race.
movement
Yeah,
speed
I
as
feel like
well.
a race would be fun.
You can turn up movement speed in general
Alright, so
as well.
movements.
We can have races. and we
Wait,
can
so
have
being able to
zero
turn
G
up
fights.
movement speed just means that you're also able to turn down movement speed.
Maybe.
So maybe make movement speed super low, gravity super high, or super low. So like you can't move very fast, but you can fling and gravity's really low. So you're like able to like try and climb and fling yourself around, and that's really it. And walking around is not gonna get you around fast enough.
Okay, I just lost tracking on my
And then you-
controller. I don't know why.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you real.
not.
Save me.
JT, your avatar is kind of short. I don't know if you can reach it.
I can't read the chair.
Oh
Your
no,
chair
my
doesn't-
hand
Oh,
thinks with
no.
my foot.
Oh no.
One singular
Where did this
sensation,
podcast go?
every little
Where
step
did
he
this
takes.
Fixed issue with backpack wings would not open or
Thrilling
close properly for other
combination,
players.
every move
Does
that
this mean you can actually
make.
see the wings open
I
and
have an
close?
idea.
I'm
One
sorry, I can't read
stop,
chat
I
because
think-
JT won't be quiet.
Everybody else.
Wait, I could take that question. I think the issue with the backpack wings was sometimes your backpack wings would be stuck open at all times and would close again when you weren't gliding.
Like a fairy.
So that was. I think they fixed that,
Yeah.
and now when you're not gliding, they will always be put it.
Yeah. That's just attention to detail. That they fixed it, but there was an issue where it was broken before, so they fixed that. You can't turn in pods anymore, or still with PCVR, but we don't care about that. So there's the legions, the skins change to try to help like people loading, the kinetics or kinematics, the
The op fix.
The optics. Oh my god.
Operator.
We're gonna try to make a couple of custom lobbies later, probably next week, and see what we can do with some of the settings. Oh my god.
What's happening?
What is happening?
I have turned into. Oh, it's enlightening. Wait.
It's better now, right?
Yeah, it's better now.
He's like, oh, what?
It's inside his
SpongeBob.
body. He's like, it's better now, right?
Okay.
Starwin sent a message that said, "Save me." I can't.
No,
You're
this is
doomed.
hilarious. Wait.
Oh, okay.
You have hands.
All right, better
Life is a cabaret, old chum.
My
Come
full
get
body's-
the
I
Your
just
head
turned
is
full
still
body
kind of
down.
falling into your chest a lot.
My what?
Your head is kind
had
of
to go
falling
with
into
it.
your chest a lot.
Only when he looks down. It's okay.
Yeah, like your head is like squished.
Okay. Are there any other
Like a
Population
mouse.
1 topics that we would like to talk about for today? I think
So they still haven't buffed the UMP. The UMP
No.
just it deserves a buff.
fair. How's the state of the game? Well, I guess there's this balance changes, or all, like the op change and stuff's only been out for a day, so we haven't had a chance to really try out anything. There's just Kermit ass in the camera right now. I
Yeah,
hope you know
haven't
that.
had enough time. How did he spawn
Is
a
it-
camera?
It
I'm
was.
somehow like
You
in
can-
Kermit's
You
mind.
can.
All right. We can get to the VR chat specifics, but is there anything else you want to talk about for Pop One guys today?
Is there anything that they want to talk about? Also, you're doing some rebalancing of your gun placement. What, like S level, A level, B level?
Oh,
Jared has
They
a little
fixed
camera.
the recoil on all guns.
What?
Oh, you want to hear something funny about that?
They fixed the recoil on
Wait.
guns.
Is it facing you?
Hey, figure it out later.
Oh,
You want to hear
sorry.
something funny about
Okay.
that? We can ignore them.
We can have the podcast.
Sure. Yeah, let's
they
just do a
fixed the
boost.
recoil on all guns, so
They
I've
can
yet
talk
to
about,
pick
like,
up an AK.
frogs and
Literally,
bananas.
Oh
I
man,
haven't
the
found an AK
is a
today
lot.
at all.
Someone complimented my aim improving. I was like, nah, they just fixed the gun.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is I could always hit that shot. The gun was just bad.
We're back in TOS areas. TOS.
I don't know what's
And cheeks are spread all the way open.
Oh, he gone.
And spread their cheeks.
What are your guesses for what
Aren't
season
you-
2? They're
aren't
not
you
doing
glad it's
seasoning
not
anymore,
butter?
Burns.
Is that what it is?
So
No, it's margarine.
I think even though they're not doing seasons, they're still going to be doing new themes
Yeah, they will.
every so often.
they will. I think the next
I'm
one
still
will
waiting on the
be.
space theme.
I want space theme. That'd be cool.
Waiting.
Say MJert.
And jerk. JT's having a lot of fun with this banana.
Oh, I'm sure he's having a lot of fun with your banana.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Whoa. Talk about TOS.
I know I did some
What
drugs
just
before I got on,
happened?
but damn.
What just happened?
So,
What's happening?
all right. Recoil
How
fix.
do I- oh,
Yeah,
camera.
Starwin's aim increased. You haven't found an AK?
Mhm.
JT.
Mhm.
I haven't been able to find an AK today.
Mhm.
JT.
What?
What do you think?
Wait. Smile.
JT, what do you think? We're
JT,
we're
about
doing,
the AK.
we're doing a
What do you think?
podcast.
About the
AK,
aim.
This is live. You know, like this is always live.
ah! Excuse me for a second.
This is we tried to get JT's opinion.
I actually do really I'm doing well with it.
Excuse me for a second, just walks away.
Can't make it work.
So other than that, I've used.
So it's not just
a
the
lot
AK.
today.
UMP, like every gun got the recoil fixed.
Everything does it.
Right, but it's fixed now.
I mean, again, I haven't picked up much of anything but the op since it started. Basically, been trying to find an op every game and then just using that. So I'd like to play some more and try out some the new fixes. I haven't played enough.
Yeah, I wonder if I
Sparkles?
only hated the P90 before because the recoil was,
It was
weird
bad?
for me. So I'm going to test out all the guns that I thought I hated to figure out, or I think I hate, to see if like Maybe they don't suck. We'll figure that out. How would the wider leisure playing community be able to achieve the Millie skin? Play the game. The thing that we figured out from the
during
hollowed
Harvest
event.
Havoc event.
Yeah, go ahead.
Millie's not that hard to get.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, during the Hollow Harvest event, like, it was basically anyone who played. I didn't know a single person who didn't get the skin, because if you're playing consistently throughout the week and trying to get it, there's so many players who are just gonna log in for like one day throughout the week and play for a little bit, and they're gonna end up in like the 26,000th place, and you'll be, as long as you're consistently playing, you'll be in the top 10%.
I don't even know if it's consistently playing. Like if you play like a couple
Yeah,
games
I
a
don't-
day,
I would-
you'll probably be fine.
I think, what was it, like 5? It
Dude,
was
I'm
like
in
5 or 10
top
games
200
that you
and
had
I
to win
haven't-
during the Hollow Harvest. During
haven't
the
hardly played this week.
Harvest
you're
Havoc,
good.
I can't even words. During the Harvest Havoc event, it was like you won like 5 or 10 games and you were in the top 20%. Like,
Mhm.
throughout the week, you needed to win like 5 games.
Yeah. So anybody that wants the skin, just play a bit. It probably won't be ridiculous hard. Like the farther here's the weird part. The farther into the week it gets, the more easier it'll be to be in Diamond, because more people will have played the event, and therefore like the top 20% is a bigger amount of people. Like right at the start, it's going to be a low amount of people, but as the week goes,
Evil Sumatchi! Oh no!
What's happening? What's happening?
Sumatchi made the room evil.
I don't think chat can see.
Where's your-
I don't know what chat. What does chat see when that happens?
they see
What
some
does
stuff.
chat see when that
They
happens?
see a black bubble. Chat doesn't need to see what happens in the bubble. All right,
Chat doesn't need to see.
my advice is
I'll take
to,
Starwind's spot.
Okay, thank you.
Right,
Thank you.
damn.
My advice is to just play.
Starwind
The
doesn't
longer
have to
the
use my
week goes
chair.
on, the longer the week goes on, the more people will be like in the event, and therefore it'll be way easier to get like the top 10 or 20%. Did I just
Yeah,
play
it
with
w-
you? I was Galaxy.
For anyone who's worried about it being hard, I promise it was a lot easier than expected when we needed just top 20%. So if you really want it and you try to get it, I think you'll be able to get it. I don't think anyone who really wants the skin won't be able to get it if you play.
Yep, I agree. Did they say they aren't doing
Jert
seasons
believes
anymore?
in
I
you,
assumed
and if
they
Jert
referred to the
believes in
Kingdom
you-
as an event after season 2 because they are planning on a
Jert-
big change for season
Jert,
3
come
and need more time to do. Yeah, they in their post they said they're moving away from seasons. They'll still be doing content releases, but it's not going to be like season tiered specific stuff, to my knowledge. That's from me, not the devs. So
Say
take
I'm
that as
Jert.
you will. Did you guys in chat have any questions before I release the kindergarten class to recess today?
Ooh, it's almost recess. Hey, it's almost recess.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Oh gosh. We'll see if chat has any other questions. What's your question, Dubs?
Papillon,
JT
Papillon? Papillon
Dubs,
have
were
a
you
question?
raising?
do you have any questions, Papillon, about new update? Anything you would like to discuss while we are
Papillon
here?
did not like the update.
Oh,
How dare you speak for
I
Papillon?
just-
She
I
is in
just-
my
I
chat.
just-
She will speak for herself.
I just outed her.
okay. I think.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. You guys can go to recess. Go on.
Oh, yay!
Papillon said not a fan of Legions. JT was right.
Not a fan of Legion.
Well,
I'll
I'm
get it.
sorry, Papillon. Maybe we can play a few. and we
Legions,
will
dude,
be
I
able
almost
to
like
make
Legions
you-
better than
Because I've
Dragon
enjoyed
Squads.
Legions a lot.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a mix up.
Max
Okay.
is in my chat. He said that Legions is dope.
Any
He
tips to
enjoys
up the
Legions
win
as
rate?
well.
Play to live. Don't play to get kills.
Play to have fun.
Play to win.
Play to win.
That's what I do, and it's not the winning
Play to have
strategy.
fun. Only have
Any
fun
tips
while
with that?
You
winning.
don't need to get kills
Play
to
to
win the
win.
game.
Yeah.
To play fun.
If you're just looking to boost your win rate, just
Yeah,
Play the
because
game.
Jert will take them
I've,
from you
I've played with
anyways.
plenty of players too who like at the end of the game they'll be a little discouraged when they're like, oh, I had like 300 damage and no kills, like that didn't really help. And I'm like, just being there, being present, like making call outs the whole time, potentially rezzing, like the fact that
Jert
you're
never
around
says
and
this to me.
shooting at some things, like you are helping. If you are shooting at an enemy and they're looking at you and not me, and I happen to get the kill, you were helpful in that fight, even if you didn't do damage. Because you distracted them enough for me to get the kill. So don't be discouraged by low numbers. As long as you're
Spoken like
participating
someone
in the
who
fight,
got the
you are
kill.
helpful.
Yeah.
Hey,
But you know
I do the
what?
same thing. If I can distract them enough and you can get the kill,
See it
you
burns.
did it. You are great.
Okay. Well,
More often than not, it will not be that way. He will distract them by killing them.
go to recess. We're done for this one. I probably have to cut out like 30 minutes of clips, but it's fine because we can do that on the YouTube video. But
Why?
thanks, guys. Bye.
That was the most fun. Bye.
Bye. You want to say bye, Starwind? Starwind?
Bye.
Bye guys. Bye guys.
Oh, hi there.
Wait.
These mics on?
No, those are base
Why
stations.
are
Those are Rift S space
There's
stations.
so many songs
Oh, yeah, you're
about
right.
rainbows and what's on the other side.
Dude, he makes such a good Kermit.
Some refuse to believe it.
Sit there.
I know
You've
they're
chosen your
wrong.
path.
Wait and see that someday you'll find it. The rainbow connection. The lovers, dreamers,
I think this
and
chair works
me.
with it.
All of us under spell. Booby headed.
Huh.
Boobs. It's a bit antiquated,
blue-footed
I know,
boobies?
but it's musical theater. The language is whatever.
What do you
want
think
it to
about
be.
blue-footed boobies?
As a bird, I quite appreciate them as a sidecar to a drink. If you want to take me home, I'm just saying.
They were just not existent anymore.
JT, I just want you to be a witness that every week or so, Sumatchi takes me to a room alone and asks me to dance.
I mean, but that's part of the thing.
part of
That's
VR
how
chat.
You become part of the. That's. Wait. You went a long time
Hello?
without this
Sure.
happening. Like, when did this start happening? Like, just now.
It's part of the game. It's called the 5 stages of VR chat.
Yeah, I mean, this is why we play VR chat in the first place. So, I don't really know what you're saying here.
Step 1 is admitting you have a problem. Step 5 is admitting you enjoy that you have a problem.
And step 6 is the automated pegging using Bluetooth.
Automated.
Well, yeah. Mechanical,
Oh my
reciprocating
god.
engine,
Yo, that reminds me. So
linear, reciprocating
somebody-
motor attached to a dildo of sorts. Could be a tentacle if you like that.
somebody I met through
you
my
just-
Discord, they programmed a Bluetooth dildo to vibrate to combat in Final Fantasy 14.
Sumatchi thinks he runs this show. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I don't.
Well, JT, you would
Hold on.
need both.
Hold on.
Devices.
You need
Hold on.
both the Nora and the Johnson.
Hold on.
I have 3 of them.
Hold on. Hear me out. Population 1. Let's have a podcast.
Wait a minute.
That sounds right.
I'm sure
This
you can
isn't
find.
a sex toy
Yeah.
podcast?
I'm sure you can find a way to haptic suit or like sync Pop 1 to something, right? But then people would just spend all the time in the zone.
I don't know what you think. I don't know what you think I'm screaming about on stream, but is this
I mean, I
about
see him in
the
Pop
gallons of uwu in Jert's
Turn
basement?
yourself a bit up
Oh yeah.
or down.
He milks me for uwu.
Ooh. Can you farm someone for? Can you mine?
Technically,
can you
that's an
mine
uwu mustache. Technically,
Technically.
There we go. I blocked Jert, so I don't have to deal with that anymore.
you block Jert.
Yep.
You blocked Jert?